Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Video Game Collectors Podcast. I'm Matt Rose,
I'm Josh Byerly. Good to see you.
and today we have a special guest. I'll let him introduce himself.
My name's Jason. I am the founder of Mynty.gg.
And we are excited to bring have Jason show us what's going on. Maybe not a full preview, but enough of a preview to get some of you excited. So at least I'm excited. And Josh knows nothing about this, which is great because I just want to see his reaction. So
yeah, I know very little. All I know about Mynty.gg, is that correct? I follow it on Instagram. I guess I follow you on Instagram, and I see the occasional price come up of you show a game and it shows a price, and I'm like, this is interesting. So I know nothing else.
Well, thanks for the follow.
Yeah.
So before we get started, why don't you just give us a really brief, just kind of background, Jason? I mean, you can say anything, how you got into what we're going to be looking at, maybe how you got started collecting, or just your love and passion for video games in general, or just, how did this all come about? What we're going to be looking at?
Well, so I won't go way back because that's like 4 or 5 years old. But I started collecting heavy. I would say around 2000, picking up like Nintendo games, and I was in a band, and a buddy of mine who was in another band, and we used to play the shows together. He had this little hangout spot at his house, and he had a bunch of Nintendo games, and it just re-sparked like this love and passion that I had. I've always played video games my entire life, but at that point I hadn't played retro in so long, and playing them while having beers just kind of sparked something again, right? And I was like, dude, I have to own these again, right? So at around that time, I just started picking them up where I can find them. And then I would amass a collection, and then I would stop, right? And then I would do other things. None of my friends do this, by the way. The only outlet I had at the time was Nintendo Age, but I was like a ghoster, right? I would just like read stuff and see what people were up to. I posted, I think, twice. One was to check the authenticity of something I had found in the wild. And always I got like numerous responses like immediately. So a lot of people were on that, but that led to just me collecting for other systems. I had then sold and then got back into it. But there is never a place I can go to find conditional value for any of my games, right? And so I'm kind of a snob when I collect. It's just kind of my thing, but I like CIBs, super nice, right? If I'm getting a sealed copy of something, I want it to look pristine. That's just how I collect. Nothing against anybody else. It's just my weird tick. And so trying to price value these games is impossible, right? Yeah. Not necessarily impossible. You can go and kind of manually do it yourself and give yourself sort of benchmark numbers. But so when doing that, I just thought to myself, there has to be a place, right? Not only that exists that gives you conditional value, but that gives you some sort of education on print variations, because there is lists and there's people who know, what certain games are, but it's kind of hard to decipher. Like I'm in the Nintendo, this like Nintendo variant group on Facebook, and I posted a Zelda variant post recently, and everybody's quick to give me tips and stuff, and I'm very grateful for it. But there was this list that they sent me. I'm not sure. I think it was on Game Stage, which is a great resource, by the way. And it's helpful, but it's not helpful because you're looking at a list, right? That's got maybe 18 different variants of Zelda, but they're all in text and they're all in most people out who don't know what they're doing will find this list very cryptic, because it says something like Zelda, TM, asterisk, 5, screw. So, I mean, just reading that out loud, you're like, if you don't know what that means, what 5 screw means, TM, you're like, well, I don't know what the fuck that is. Like, what is that? What does that mean? So it's helpful to those who are educated or who are seasoned veterans or, intermediate, right? But it's no good to anybody who's just trying to get into this. So all that to say, I want to change that. I want to bring a place where people can see conditional value, and then not just conditional value, but across the board, what variants are worth. So TM, what's that worth versus a Rev A round seal versus a oval TM seal or oval SOQ, and right now what's interesting is I know what they're all worth now because of Mynty. But it's funny because a lot of them most of them are sort of similar in ways, but it's just the big ones that we all know of that are different. Anyway, but that's why I want to fix that. I find it a problem, so I want to fix that problem. I'm here to solve that problem for myself and hopefully for others who feel the same way.
Sweet. What do you think?
That's
John?
awesome. I think that's great. I think that has been a big barrier for people that are new and looking at video games as a new hobby for them to get into it, whether it be collect or invest or whatever. It is the biggest barrier is lack of information and then understanding the information. And yeah, we can sit here all day and know these variants ourselves, but putting it out there and saying, yeah, you just look for the TM on the box. You're right. It makes no sense to somebody. And then explain to them why that's different than 2 prints later. It's difficult to explain it. So I'm all ears for hearing what the solution is. So I think it's a huge problem.
And even when we have,
I think it's the biggest thing that keeps people away from collecting video games that might want to dabble in it. Nobody wants to overspend on a game, and nobody wants to buy something and it be the version that they weren't looking for and accidentally got the wrong one, so.
And this is also something, when Brett was on, he was, kind of being a soundboard, the same exact thing. Talking about the same thing, making it easier for people coming into the hobby and giving them information,
I think I'm sorry to keep going, but I think video game collectors overcomplicate stuff. We overcomplicate shit way too much. And it's fun too, don't get me wrong, but for new people, it's overbearing. I can see that.
I think people want to protect it too. They want to protect the information. I think once people know too much, then it may not be as fun for some. Again, I know certain people, I'm not going to name any names or anything, but when I ask for information from the people who know it, they don't really want to give me the full, the full picture. They'll give me breadcrumbs, but they'll never lead me. And matter of fact, one person went as far as to tell me that they would never give me all of their information. And I don't think it's wrong that they want to withhold information because, look, a part of me thinks that, some people worked really hard to research this and to just give it away for free or just to allow it to exist. I get that side, but then the other side of me goes, well, is it better off in everyone's hands? Like, do you want to expand the hobby, or I'm not sure, right? I think that may be a conversation in and of itself, but
I think you're right. I think it is a conversation in itself. I think a lot of times, sorry to cut you off, people want to be relevant, so they fear the in this day and age, sharing that information freely and not being maybe they have 100 followers, they share it, and the person with 10,000 followers shares it, and that person ends up getting the credit for it, and they're like, oh shit, why did I share anything? And that's happened before, and I think it happens every day. Companies take it from people and they share it freely with people and say, hey, we did this, we published this, and that's what it is. But the lack of recognition for the people that dig and look for this information is a big part of it. Places like Nintendo Age existed because of people willing to share information. It was an organic growth, and we haven't seen that in a long time in this hobby. I mean, it was dead before Nintendo Age disappeared, the organic growth part of it. And I haven't been on Video Game Sage much, but maybe it's there. But discovery and finding and posting and sharing new information is really what the bread and butter of Nintendo Age was. You know, that's why that site existed. We wanted to track color dream variants of all things, right? We wanted to say, hey, does this blue card exist? Does this black card exist? And let's put them all on a list and share that information. So gatekeeping that information is really an old guard style, but also freely sharing it is a dangerous two-edged sword as well, because you want the credit, right? I get that. You want to be relevant, and deservedly so in certain instances. So I understand the gatekeeping, but I think information is only as good as what people do with it, though. So if it's not shared, I mean, I try to share as much as I know with people, because if that information is not shared, then what the hell is the point? You know? So that's where I'm at.
Well, yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree with you wholeheartedly, and I hope more people, more people see this, and that's if we want to see the hobby grow, I think the information has to be easily accessible, and that's what I want to do. And you know what, I have a feeling that people might think that I might be exploiting other people's work, because I'm going to share the information. If I do research and I find it, I'm going to put it up on this website that Mynty's going to have it, and someone may not be happy with that, but I'm not going to plagiarize, right? I'm not going to do that, right? And if I find it from a source, we'll cite that. We'll cite the source, and I think that's fair, right?
Absolutely, yeah. That's like goes back to the whole saying, like, never forget where you come from, or never forget where shit comes from, because people want that. I think you'll get a lot more traction that way too if you do cite where you've pulled information from.
Yeah,
and very likely that person, wherever you're pulling it from, pulled it from somewhere else years ago. So it's the dissemination of information and where we're at in today with how that gets shared. So citing it is a good thing. It's a noble idea, but I don't necessarily think it's necessary. But after a while, people just take stuff for granted, that it's just common knowledge and secondhand nature. So
I have a pretty good relationship with Jason at Game Rave.
Jason work.
Yeah, and he's like
he's a machine, man.
Him and his team. I say team because I think I know he's working with a couple others who are just as like dedicated and devoted to the hobby. And so if I did make a couple of posts. I think one in particular was Twisted Metal, like variant thing guide sort of post on Instagram, and 1,000% I cited and thanked Jason for his work and time and effort into discovering like every single print for Twisted Metal. I mean, and he goes like to the degree of scanning everything. I mean, box scans and CD scans and insert scans. I mean, dude, I have a stack over here. I'm not going to show you, but it's like every single Final Fantasy PS1 variant. I don't even like the game, but Game Rave and his interesting write-up on it and discovery like made me want to like hunt for it, and I got them all, and I'm like, what do I do with this now? But
no, he's a perfect person for PS1. That's the thing, and he probably does other stuff too, but that like you say Final Fantasy, when I think of his site, I think of Tomb Raider. the variant on just Tomb Raider alone is nuts. Like,
yeah,
and it you have to play the physical game to see which is the first release of Tomb Raider, and nobody can ever know.
I did that.
Yeah, like I whenever I get a Tomb Raider, I boot it up to see if I have one.
Thanks,
So,
Jason.
yeah, no, exactly. There's information like that, and Jason has spent hours doing that, and it goes all the way back to, I mean, shit, he was around like with digital press, and my buddy Kevin Cure was on digital press. Him and Jason and I think it was Papa Stu. They were like writing the first PlayStation rarity guide back then, and Kevin published a book with like kind of a rarity guide and price guide. This was the early PlayStation guide, and then I think that's when Game Rave was just starting. But yeah, man, that's a throwback,
dude.
It's been around for years doing it.
I call it the PS1. I call it the PlayStation Bible. I mean, it literally is, right? Like,
yeah, it is. It's you learn more on that than anything. So
right.
they recognizing the small nuances in games is an art, and he's got PlayStation dialed in. Yeah.
But imagine, right? So the inspiration, right, that I draw from Game Rave is where I want Mynty to be, right? I want every console. I want that sort of layout and approach to every single console, right? All the way down to 2600, which low key is like one of my favorite consoles to collect for. And then
you like variants, man. It's the worst.
I'm a variant dude. It's a mental disease, man, but it's so much fun. So Game Rave, I want Mynty to sort of like have that and embrace that variant display. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah. We need an all-encompassing home for stuff like this.
Yeah, and then imagine knowing like what good and or mint value for loose carts even, right? I mean, there's other places that exist right now where you can get benchmark data from. But the problem is when you roll in, CIBs, right, from all spectrums, everything like high end to just a torn, ripped up box. How does that make any sense? Like how does that average in the middle make any sense? And it means nothing really. If you're a collector like me who, wants to hunt a nice CIB, and then I want to know what I'm going to invest into it. By the way, when I say like invest, I mean, I really don't mean that, because the money I spend on this is a lot, and I don't really even care if it's, I just want these items, right? Because I love the hobby, and because it's a part of my life. It's like my childhood, right? And but I want to know how much damage is going to be done to get the game that I really want in the condition that I want it in. Or if I want to save money, like maybe I want something that's fair condition. What is the value for something fair? Maybe not mint, but maybe good. We have those values now. Mynty not only gives you an overall value, which is what everyone else does, but it's going to give you mint value, which we're calling Mynty value, and then it gives you a good value. So it separates the good from the average and acceptable. And then to dig it further, we're going to show how many games are sold, because I think that's important too. And that helps us understand trends in the market. So if we know within a 3-month marker what's selling and what that's worth, I think we get a better understanding of price value altogether. It's Mynty sort of set up like Zillow or something like that, where you can break it down by month by 3 months, 6 months, and then you can do a year, and then even all, right? If you want to see all the data just combined and an average of all. Yeah. So, but back to the topic, I think it's important, right? Those things are important to me.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. Like some of the things I've gotten to see before this, I was excited because I was like, I would use this Mynty. I would use Mynty for figuring out prices, because for me, figuring out prices, I'm using eBay sold, I'm going to heritage auctions, depends on what it is. And then I'm just going off of, opinions from people like Josh. And, I kind of just gather information all around. Mynty would just be that, icing on the cake type of, I love data. So, and that's really what it is. It's just incredible data, or at least from what I've seen so far, and I'm excited about it. So
yeah, I am too. I mean, working on it for 2 years. Oh man, I really want to release this. It's been a labor of like love, hate, time, and energy. It's been, but the sick part about it is I love it. I'm like here for it, and I'm just doing this, generating data. And it's one of the special things I think about Mynty is the way we get data. It's not automation, I don't allow like an automated system to make decisions for Mynty.
Mm-hmm.
So
can you show us some of it? Can we are you ready to break in and show us?
Yeah, sure.
That'd be fantastic. Yeah, that's awesome.
Sure.
Can you share your screen, or do I have to give you?
I think I can do it. Let's see. Oh yeah, disable participant screen sharing. So I think you have to give me permission.
I can just make you the host. And then I think that'll give you.
Jason is now the host.
I have a special treat for you guys too. When it comes to the like showing you guys the website, I have and we'll talk about it later, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I think a lot more people are going to be excited about. Well, there's certain crowds going to be excited about. Oh dang! What happened? Oh, cool. Do I have the permission? Oh, yes, I do. All right.
I hope so.
I'm going to share my screen in a second here. Let me let's see. Let's go. All right, we're going to look at Contra 3 Alien Wars for Super Nintendo first.
Good game. Good game.
It's a good game.
One of the best.
Okay.
God, I love that game.
All right. Can you guys see it?
Yep.
I can see it.
Okay. So this is Mynty. We're looking at a specific game page. This actually is an overall page. It encompasses all of the variants within Contra 3 Alien Wars. So this page is going to give you like an expanded view of all sold copies, what we have tracked as good, what we have tracked as Mynty, and then the overall value, because there is variance here. So we're looking at an entire picture, right? We're putting everything, all of the data is lumped together as one. If that means anything, then use it. But if not, and you want to just look individually at the variant data, then you can, if that means no. So,
yeah, and to me, that means everything on a game like this, because I hate Majesco games more than anything. So
I definitely got that from watching a couple of the episodes.
So I'm very thankful you chose Contra 3.
I will say this though. So I found some Majesco releases are more rare than the made in Japan.
Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter 2 are really, really rare, actually.
Yeah. And then there's upside down, the upside down screen variant.
Yeah, like the Contra 3 has an upside down one.
Yes. So yeah, we've only tracked a few of those. I don't think we have the data here tonight. But.
Yeah, for variants, they're cool. For collecting wise, they're just garbage. I'd rather run them over in my truck than have them.
So I'm gonna move this real quick. I'm gonna move you guys right here. Oh, actually, maybe I can minimize this. There you go.
Yeah, you can do it.
All right. So so we're doing a couple things here. We're giving general information too. I thought that was pretty important. From entry level, right? I want everybody to be able to do this. So if you want to know, the very basic level of what this game is, it's an action run and gun shoot 'em up game. I mean, you can totally see the genre, the release date. We have subsets here, which I'm, really excited about, and we can talk about in a second. We have a rating, right? A rarity rating of 55 of 100. There is a specific scale that I've sort of come up with. Now, I'm not going to pretend to say that this is the best or right way to do it, but this is the way that we're going to launch the sort of rarity system that we're launching with. And I'm open to make changes as things go along. So, but yeah, I would consider this game pretty common. So that's how we have it categorized here.
Does it change like color or something? So like it says most common 55 out of 100. Does it change color if it's like, or what bar does it, what comes after like most common and then?
Sure. Yeah. So if you notice this little ribbon here,
yep.
I think it's kind of small, but it's purple. And so your ribbons will be different colors. There's 6 different rarity categories. So yeah, each category has its own ribbon color.
Got it. Now, does that apply, say, for instance, on these anomalies where you can pick up a cartridge in a day sort of game, but you can never find the box?
Yeah. So one thing that I'm doing is I am tracking cartridges too. Okay. So, and you'll see that. You're going to see that here in a second. In this variant list, I have cartridge only stuff because I think that is important, right? Like, I think there's a NFR. No, I'm pretty sure there's a Contra 3 NFR cart. So yeah, that in it of itself needs its own sort of rarity score, if you will.
Yeah, or say, for instance, like a game like Chubby Cherub, you can track the cartridge, the rarity of the cartridge versus the rarity of the box.
Yeah. It's something I'm open to, and I think it's a really good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's great. As of now, I can tell you that Chubby Cherub has a single rarity score, and that includes the cartridge. But you're absolutely right, because I just sold this set, unfortunately. But I was trying to, I kind of in my own mind made up this little subset of Nintendo games I thought was really fun. I actually wanted to add it to this site, but the first 9 third-party Nintendo games that were released in 1986. So the first 9, you know all of them, I'm sure, Josh. And that is one of them, and that's the only game that you can get the card all day, like you said, but a good condition box, once a year probably.
Yeah,
maybe if that. And I did see one, and I missed it. It was up for like 12 hours, and then it sold for like $1,200.
Heritage just sold a graded one. It was a 9.2 CIB. I think got a 9.0 box for like $1,200. I can't believe I didn't buy it.
That was probably, dude. Honestly, it was probably the same one, because this box sold about probably 8 months ago on eBay, something like that. Yeah. I think it's a good idea, Josh. I think that's something that I can definitely take a hard look at and then maybe implement.
So basically you're saying like we're looking at loose right now, but you clicked over to say CIB and then the grade changes at that point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Individually kind of tagging the product, right? And one thing that I don't have here too, let me add to this. that I'm very aware of because I'm seeing the data constantly, is complete games. I know that sounds, some people might go, what do you mean? We consider CIB, right? Cart instructions box, but people are going to pay a premium if you have all the inserts. And I feel like sometimes it's unfair to have those rolled into our CIBs because like that pushes and pulls values like crazy. And, you'll see for instance, a TM just sold Zelda, but it had everything in it. So I think it fetched almost $4,000 and it was a CIB. If that had just had the instruction manual, maybe that wouldn't have sold for that much. I mean, I don't know for certain, but that value of $4,000 is pushing our month-to-month percentage up drastically,
Right.
So these are all things that I'm very aware of and that I'm going to work towards to try to bring solutions to the website.
Yeah, those cards, they make a difference. Those little,
they do.
It's here and there. So,
yeah. I mean, I wanted them for the PlayStation PS1 long box set that I completed. I wanted all that. I wanted every single,
Oh man, the inserts on PS1 and Saturn are insane, and nobody values those at all. Like, like all the EA variants on an EA game or inserts on an EA game for Saturn. I open one of those up and they're just like falling out. Like, nobody kept that shit.
And
the Collector's Quest guys did a podcast where they were talking about this stuff recently, and I thought it was pretty interesting because they hit the nail on the head. I definitely hoard that stuff when I find inserts, and you never know when you're going to need an insert to stick in the next game you get.
Yeah, well, to give you an example, I mean, Resident Evil, for instance, if you can find the insert with that complete set, I mean, that will drive the value up $50 to $75 every time, just for that little Capcom mail-in thing. It's like I'm not sure what it is, but it's got like a picture of some guy on it or something.
Yeah, Matt, remember we had the Aero Fighters poster?
Yeah, darn.
Sold that for like as much as a CIB.
I think I sold it for $175, and that was a long time ago. Yeah, darn.
Wow. I thought it was like $200, $250 or something. But
I forget.
I remember. It was probably what a CIB was worth then. Whatever.
Yeah, those darn hoarders who have boxes of inserts in their closets, just keeping them for no damn reason.
Yeah. Sorry for the tangent there.
No, I love it. I love every single minute of it, man. I don't get to talk games very often, so I'm having a great time.
No, that's awesome. I've never even, I mean, I at some point I've considered it, but having a complete button, that would be a next level. Obviously you'd want to probably integrate that later on down the road, get it up and get the basics out of the way first and then hone it in. But that's a sweet idea.
Yeah.
Call it true CIB.
Yeah, exactly. And then freaking trademark it or something. But yeah, I mean, even like just like manual only and box only, I want to do all that. I want to go, because so many times, right, we're going through data and then we're looking and we're going, wow, dude, that box sold for more than all of these CIBs, like in a 3-month time frame, right? And because it was that nice. And I get it. I understand it. I'm looking at that price tag and I go, yeah, that's, yep. No, I mean, 30-year-old box, no creases, clean as hell. Like that in and of itself is an anomaly. Like, I don't understand, some people who don't understand that. Hey, different strokes for different folks, but that to me is why these games are so valuable, because I understand time and I understand the different, things could change, right? Someone can throw something in their closet or put that box on top, right? There's so many different variables that can happen to just damage something. No one even knows it's there, and it somehow it made it out through this time capsule, 30 years, still pristine. Like, yeah, give that man $500 for that card.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I know. It's because you've been to garage sales and you found a bunch of garbage CIBs. And then you went to another garage sale and you found some mint CIBs and you held each find in your hands, and you're like, I wish I could just find all of this shit that looked like this. And then it clicked in your brain, and you're like, I don't want garbage anymore in my house. That's what it was.
Yeah. Well, that, and I had all, yeah, you're right. I had all the garbage. Yeah, I was looking at all these games going, dude, that box sucks. Like, I pull it out, I'm like, I can't even see the dude's face, that the flaps are ripped off. And I'm just like, dude, I deserve better.
I audit my collection all the time, where I go through things and I think the condition is nicer than it really is. And then you like pull the one example off your shelf and you're like, this is what the metrics are. I have to measure everything to this example of game, and it doesn't hold up. So I get rid of half the shit I have. Yeah. So I've been doing that a long time, like for years, actually. I got rid of everything because it was all garbage.
You know,
then I kept mint stuff.
There's a simple solution. Just buy everything sealed.
That's what
that's not actually a simple solution. You can get some pretty screwed up stuff that's sealed.
That's true. That's fair.
Especially when it comes in a bubble mailer, dude.
Oh my God.
And you got to tell these guys every single time. I don't care. I send a message, man. If I buy some on eBay, I send like the most polite message I can possibly draft. And I'm like, please, can you please like just reinforce it? Thank you. You know, and some people, it's just, and then they'll say, yeah. And then it just shows up in like this thin bubble mailer. I'm like, you poor game.
I got a siphon filter off Macari a couple weeks ago. I needed one. I needed a sealed siphon filter because I've been looking, and I'm like, this is one that slips through the cracks. I don't want to spend a lot for it. So I'm going to wait till I get one for like less than 50. One came up, beautiful looking, paid $30.
Oh.
That's the first issue. You pay $30 for a game, you can expect to get it shipped in a mailer.
Yep.
I shipped it in a mailer, sent my mailbox for a couple days because I didn't check the mail. Macari, you have 3 days before you can do a return. Totally forgot it. Open it up, just cracked right on the front.
Oh no.
Hurts. And I'm like out of the return window, so I can't do anything, but I still have to message that seller and be like, hey, you could have just done this the right way.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm going to be that guy, but I'm going to bug you. And I know I can't get a return, but you ruined it. Could have been not ruined.
Atari games are the most notorious for getting bubble mailed. I can't count the Pac-Mans that I've lost at least full grade or two because of bubble mailers.
I can't count the Pac-Mans you've done either, Matt. You send me a photo every time you buy a Pac-Man for a good deal on eBay.
I send it group text. I'm just like, got another one. Just a big old dent, right?
Fantastic.
Sorry, we're pulling away from this. So let's get back to Mynty.
It happens all the time, though. I get it. We need to let this off, dude. We need to get this off our chest.
That's horrible.
So. Yeah. Okay. 100. So check this out. I wanted to show you guys. So we have different like time frames, which this made it really difficult to sort of develop this. But so we have, by default, 3 month is always going to be sort of selected, and it's sort of a choice because I think that 3 months is a good window to relevancy, right? And so you're looking at two different things, right? You can look at the month to month sort of averages here, or you can, right, just pull from this, right? And if we want to throw out Mynty here to see where some of these lie, then, we could do that. And see where, if you want to go month to month and check out the averages here. But now let's switch over to CIB, right? So this is just cartridges, right? So for a clean mint Contra 3 cartridge, $54 is what you're looking at. Okay, now let's go over
for a cartridge. That shit's going for $55 these days. Oh my God.
A good one, but yeah, like a good one, like a clean one. That's kind of the going average for that.
It's got to be made in Japan, I imagine. No.
And if you look closely here, you can see how many sales there are. There's 33 versus 76 total sales. Actually, right now we're in sort of the overall section here. Let's go to let's check out one of the variants, and then we'll go into those.
Oh, nice.
So here it is. So if you go just under the graph, here's all of our variants. So right now there is no, see how it kind of gets cut off? We're going to add something where you mouse over this and it gives you like the full title, because this, I mean, this doesn't really help you, but we can continue scrolling to see more. So here's the NFR cart. And then here's all the other stuff. So let's go into like the Japanese made in Japan release. Here's the additional information. This will give you the UPC, series, platform, developer, publisher. And then there's notes in on the game. So this is kind of where you'll read descriptions about different prints, right? Where we can kind of learn about each one. And hopefully, you know, there's some pretty good stuff there for, you know, people who want to learn can read up on. So here's the made in Japan. Oh, one thing I do want to note is you might look at this title and say, hey, that looks like kind of like what WADA is titling Contra 3 right now, this particular variant. And you're right. I am going, and this is my opinion, this may turn some people off, but right now I'm really invested into WADA, not because financially I am at all. It has nothing to do with that. There's a lot good to be said about Dennis, right? And I think he's a great ambassador for this hobby, and I think he's a wonderful human being. I've never met him, but from everything I've seen, from all of the stuff that he's put out, the podcasts that I've watched, he sounds like an amazing guy. I've saw his collection from different videos. This guy is totally invested in this, right? He loves what he does. And I think WADA, you know, I give them that authority level, right? When it comes to finding the different variants out. Now, do I think other people have more information? Sure, I absolutely do. But I think from a standpoint of a start, this is where we're going to be at, right? Because I sort of want the graded part of Mynty to sort of play a hand with what WADA is doing, right? So if you have WADA graded games, it's easy to identify what you have and how to look that information up here. Okay, I digress. I
think that's fair. I think that they've also made a transition to easier to digest variant information on the front label. You know, and that I think that's going to be a big play in this. If you have too much information on the front, like we've talked about already, too much information is hard for new people to understand. So if you can just break these variants down very simply to made in Japan, assembled in Mexico, upside down screenshots, whatever you want to call it, you're gonna capture people in a way that they can identify these variants and be like, yeah, that's made in Japan. I see that one's assembled in Mexico, and so forth. And that is going to grab a lot more than made in Japan, ESRB, K through A, or everyone rating, and all this extra information that you don't need to understand the variant. So,
and if you find it, right, or if you have it, right, if you have a graded game and somehow you find Mynty, it's going to be easy. It's going to be an easy crossover to come here and look at all of this information, right? Because it's going to be titled the same title that reads on your WADA certification is going to read here. So there's no. I just think we have to find some normalcy in all this, right? I think at some point it's going to go that way, whether it's 10 years or 30 years from now. At some point we're all going to have to figure out how to get this dialed in, right? And I think this is kind of a potential first step at attempting to do something like that.
This is a daunting task, man.
Oh yeah, no, it's been, like I said, I've been at this for like 2 years. The database that we have is we have every game, right? Just about every game imaginable, but there's no way, right? We can do this day one. So this has had this progression has been very roller coaster in that I thought it was going to be something that then it wasn't, then it's turned out to be something else, right? Because of the scale of this thing. So
well, it's looking amazing so far.
thank you.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, so maybe you'll get into this, but I'm just curious about how you pull your data more than anything. Like where you're pulling this from eBay and Amazon, I see. Like, or maybe not Amazon. Those are just affiliate links or something. But I'm curious how you're getting the data, throwing it in here and making it relevant, I guess.
Well, without giving away, the secret sauce recipe, we are gathering data from eBay.
Okay.
And soon to be Macari. I'd like to throw Macari in here, and then expand to other marketplaces. But for day one and into the first year, it's probably just going to be eBay. But we're bringing it in, and that's where it then stops. And then there's a sort process that sort of allows us to look at the data and by human hand review a lot of what's happening in the back end. So one thing, right, I have to say is that there's others who are doing this, pulling data, that is. And it's hard for me to get behind any data that has inaccuracies, right? Major inaccuracies, right?
You have to parse that data on these other platforms to know what you're actually looking at for value. And the links are so old, you can't even see what you're looking at. So it's impossible.
Right. And so, look, I'm also going to say that I don't think we're going to be 100% accurate every time either, because I'm a human being and I make errors, right? And whoever, is behind the scenes sorting data could make a mistake, right? So I think from time to time we will have discrepancies, but if you have major discrepancies like, Star Fox rolled in with, Alien Wars, Contra 3, that's a major discrepancy, right? And then if a lot, a whole entire lot of games somehow rolls in, because how this is working generally, I'll just give you an insight. Like there is keywords at play, right? So this thing is, the system sort of pulls a general search, and then it wants to, then there's keywords that you command, it to sort by. But again, you're asking, and the software or the web, the back end doesn't really give a shit where it's going, right? It's just, okay, if you're telling me to do this, it'll do that. And then if you send that without reviewing it, dude, it's a shotgun approach. It's scary doing that. So that's one of the things I also wanted to change that I haven't talked about, is that this is being sorted and reviewed by a human, and it's then being sent, like it's then being approved and sent like to the site. Thankfully, we have we have a system that really makes this easy for us to do, and that helps. But yeah, no, it's got to be accurate. It's got to be at least 98.9% accurate.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me ask you this: what is it? How difficult is it right now to say sort for N64 games, say Mario Kart, and parse out the reproductions? Is that
easy? That's easy. What is difficult is the number of sales that Mario Kart that eBay produces, man. I mean, okay, I just did. We looked over a lot of games, but Mario Brothers 3 for NES, dude, you're talking about plus like 2,500 sales right? Of like just the cartridge, you know? And look, and we're going this far. We're going as far as to identify the R's and the TMs on the cartridge that are micro size, you know, because that's important to me. Because and the funny part is, you know, after going through all this data, you look and there's not much of a difference. And the reason for that, in my mind, is no one knows the difference, right? But once we start to understand what really exists out there, and there's a site like this and people to bring importance to that, then variants will really matter. That's when variant hunting, I think, is going to become, you know, more popular, and subsets will become more popular. I heard the podcast with Brett, and I think he's brilliant, you know, and he's going in a really good direction too. And I love his subset mind. And I love subsets too, you know, with the prices of collectible video games skyrocketing, you know, subsets make collecting easier for, you know, people that don't have financial freedom like a lot of other people. So when we shed light on these types of variants, and we do the work, I think they'll be more important. But to answer your question, I know I went everywhere. Reproduction is pretty easy to sniff out. That's very simple.
Okay.
The ones that aren't simple are the ones that have no tags. But we're seeing those. It's easy. And see, you have to be you have to collect video games. You have to know. You can't just, like, I couldn't put an ad on Craigslist and just hire someone, you know, pay them $15, $20 an hour to sort data and think I'm going to get great results. That's just not how it works.
Right.
It has to be someone who knows what they're doing, and to see price discrepancies. You can easily see that. Like, they can just say, yeah, real legit Mario Brother 3. But then you look and someone paid, you know, $6 for it. There's something wrong with that, right?
There's red flags.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, here's we're looking at CIBs. Now, this particular game, right? The overall average here for this made in Japan version is sitting at $301.39. This is down. This is down quite a bit. And that's just kind of how this trends. It goes up and down. But as you can see, look, mint for a mint copy, it's around $500. And that's right. I mean, that's,
yeah.
That's,
I would pay $500 for one, a dead mint condition one.
Right. So, and if we go down, right, check this out. We can see the sales here. So if we want to see, we can separate these by good and minty. So if you want, right, and you want to check minty, you know, because there's people who go, no, let's see, we got to see it. Well, then, you know, look at it. So we have this button here that's going to allow you to look at the title and the game. There will be a link to eBay as well. And eventually these will expire. So that's why we take the snap. We keep the images, because we want you to see. And this will get a little bigger. We're making some alterations to this, but
dang, so you're saving imagery. That's
oh
awesome.
Yeah, we save everything. We're saving all of the images, and we're going to allow you to see it. And look, as you can see, this one has like the cellophane on it. It was one of those, you know, the cellophane cut with a razor type thing.
It's my type of game right there.
Oh yeah, these are the ones. These are the ones I hunt all day long. So yeah, I mean, rightfully so. Someone paid $4.96, which I think is a pretty good deal for this. You know, for this game. So, and I'm sure this one probably had inserts. And sometimes I feel bad, right? That I'm like, oh man, this has inserts. So it's premium. But you know, we'll fix that one. We'll fix that soon. But
yeah, I think the minty connotation out of the gate, I expect it to be nice, right?
Right.
Like to have that.
Isn't there sort of like a meaning behind that too? It's like, I know I've said it without, like, before minty, right? There's like this right, this connotation that comes with that. It's minty. It could mean, it's like a range of things, right? It's not, I mean, doesn't mean like gem mint, right? I mean, I think to me, there's like a meaning to that. It's a certain level of good, right? Because there's even games for Atari 2600, I can point out, man, those things are so hard to find. Like Gen Mint, those things are, I mean,
impossible, man. Like
they're
My CIB Atari games are average, like, and they're nice. A 7.0 box is nice for Atari 2600.
7.5 is average for,
because people rip the fuckers open. Pardon my language, but they ripped them open. They have rips on every one of them.
Yeah. And they were given to kids, right? They were given to 12, 13, 10-year-olds. I mean, that's just how this was. And, me and Hopper had what's up, Hopper? I love that guy. We had a conversation, and man, I love having conversations with that guy because he's definitely a thinker. And, you just said, Matt, that 7.5 is sort of that sort of mint level, right?
On sealed of all things.
Like on sealed of all things.
7.5, 7.0. That's just kind of, that's just kind of a bar to expect. Higher than that,
ones without plastic, man. Like,
higher than that, you're like happy. 8.0 and above, you're nuts. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Well, and so what's interesting about that, and where Hopper comes into this, is that, Hopper and I want to find where that mint level is, right? So if you look at across the board, like, mint, saying that loosely, okay, we all think, well, mint is mint, right? But there's a level to that. What if mint doesn't exist, right? What if that Gen Mint doesn't exist because it's just that anomaly, right? And so where is the bar? Like, how do we find that, right? Like, is 7.5 considered minty? Right. I think those are things that I'm thinking about when I think of graded, when I think of the graded section for these games at Mynty is I want to sort of figure that out. I want to find where these mint levels actually lie across the board. And I want to locate those because I think that's a good tool for, collectors and speculators or whoever finds the information useful. I think it's useful. So I think that's a really fun conversation to have too.
Yeah, there's a lot of conversations that we could be had. This is great though. And that you save the images, that's even more nuts. That's awesome because that's killer.
So what's the time frame? When can I start using the site?
I'm glad you asked. So we are officially opening an alpha, and by the way, I wanted this announcement to happen here, so I'm happy that you guys have me on the show.
I feel honored, man. I'm not gonna lie. This is fantastic. So I'm pumped.
I mean, dude, that means so much to me to hear you say that, because I've been so scared, I don't know what to expect. I don't know I think I've been in it so long that I'm lost. I don't even know what, I've been looking at these pages for so long. I don't even know what's good anymore. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't know if I don't know if you realize, even outside of just, we collect dead mint shit or obsess about variants, I don't think you realize, maybe you do, how big a need something like this is for the masses, the game dealers that go to Portland Retro Gaming Expo, or your average dude that needs to go look stuff up quickly to find value on it. There's a huge need for that. Price chart, everybody's like, oh, they just took price charting values and took 10% off, and sold it at the expo. I hear that more often than not. Like, this is insanely needed in our collectible. It really is.
I knew you'd be stoked on this. I knew.
Yeah. I mean, I use price charting for shit's sakes. I have to go look at stuff. I'm like, this is rare sealed. They haven't sold it. They haven't tracked a sealed copy of this for a while. So
yeah.
And it's really imperfect data, but it's what we have and what we've had to use for fucking years, and it's asinine.
I'm a user too, and it's a great benchmark, right?
That's right. That's exactly right.
Price charting gives us a good benchmark of just titles, right? So
price charting benchmark, take it, throw it in a blender, then go look at eBay and meet somewhere halfway in the middle, and that's it. There's your price. That's
Let's get. I just want to get closer. I want to get closer to what true value. I mean, and who knows? I say true value, but you never know, right? But I want to just get as close as I can to just or give more data, right? I just want to allow people to make what they make of the data that we give. And you said, dealers and stuff like that. Man, I have a long-term goal to really put this into dealers' hands in a way that benefits them and makes their life so much easier. So I have a full plan, to do that. So we won't really talk about that today, but I want to support the entire hobby. And what's really cool too is these aren't just static images, right? We're looking at Contra Alien War, like the variants right now. There is specific differences in every single one of these. Now, if we go up and we look right now, it's not a good example. This is going to get bigger, but if we look at the back, this is the actual made in Japan, the back of the box. So this is going to allow people to examine each and every single box scan and find the nuances and differences. You now have a guide to show you what the difference is with box art in relation to cartridges, in relation to manuals when we get that far, and we will. The information will be found, and as soon as it's found, it's going to be placed here. So I have full intention of figuring that out. And you may ask, well, how where are you getting this information now? I look at so many games that I can start. Let me digress a bit. WADA gives a snippet of what exists, right? And even if you started there and you went down the rabbit holes that I go down, I see the variants firsthand because I'm looking at all the prints daily, right? So I can see there's differences with certain boxes because I'm looking at them all. So I'm able to identify a lot through just, sometimes painfully looking at through thousands of boxes a day, and sometimes I don't know what they mean, but I know it, and I'm making my own Bible, and I hope, and I really hope, what I'm hoping is people in the community will, help me and lend a hand to this special project. So we'll see.
Yeah, think about great databases that have grown, and that's really what it comes down to is people want to share information. I've said that so many times, but people want to share information and be acknowledged. And if you take an approach like that, if you build it, they will come, man. That's really what it is. Think about like Discord. I don't know if you use Discord at all or have ever used it, but it's community driven, built. You have to be approved to add certain things, but it's all for music, and it is in the most insane database in the world, just for music, CDs, cassettes, reel to reel, whatever, LPs, and it started with the idea that people want to catalog their record collections, so they made it so it's community centric, it's organic, and it grew like crazy. That was the way Nintendo Age was going for years. If you create that where people can somehow be approved to add important information, like they're a trusted person to add it, I think you'll see substantial growth, or create an open dialogue area where people can share that information. So people want to be heard.
I'm sorry. I had to interrupt you, but I'm so excited about what you just said. So yes, let me just talk about that for a second. I'm adding a tier. We haven't really talked about memberships at all. We're just looking at this. This is what Mynty is, but there's so much more to it. Now I'll get into this for just a second, but when you sign up, everybody who signs up has a profile, and you'll be able to track your own collection, right? And so other people on the site will be able to look at your collection and follow you and interact with you. So if you, Josh, sign up and I follow you, I'm going to see your feed. So every time you add games to your collection, it's going to show on your feed, on the feed, and I'm going to see what you're picking up and what you're collecting, not just by game. It's going to tell me like CIB mint copy. And so it's going to dial it into what it is that you're actually collecting. So maybe I can interact with that. I can comment, I can like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then we're taking it a little further. And so if you're a member and, you know, things are great and, you know, a outstanding community member, I can appoint certain people on the site as contributors. Well, they have a little contributor badge where when you go to console pages, there's buttons. So it allows you to not only, like, check this out. So see this, add data.
Mm-hmm.
This people don't see, like a normal user member will not see this. This is me. So
right.
Check this out. So I can manually add sold data here. I can add the condition, the sale price, the date sold, the venue, whether that's eBay or Amazon or Macari. Then this is the link, right? So we give the link because we want people to go back to see the source itself. And then we want to put photos up. This and more, where contributors will also be able to put games up. They'll be able to write descriptions. They'll be able to add all of that. So yeah, I'm going to allow people of this community to contribute whatever they, you know, and if they're trusted, yes, they can. If they want to wake up and they see something it needs to be added today, then they can do that. They have the power to do that, add games to the database or make it active because it probably already is there.
Sure.
Yeah.
No thoughts, Josh?
I'm speechless. I'm excited. I'm ready to go.
Now there was an option, I think you mentioned to me, that if you didn't, there is a button you can hit if you are a member to not share you can track your own stuff, but you cannot share it publicly, correct?
Yeah, you'll be able to privatize your page because your pages do they do disclose like value, right?
Yeah.
And knowing the size collection that, you know, some people have, you know, they may not want you to know that their collection is worth $2 million.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what Mynty will do. Mynty's going to tell you what your
Nice.
what your collection is actually worth. And it's going to fluctuate because when we update data constantly, it's just good. You're going to see it go, you know, you're going to see it just fluctuate. Yeah. And one thing we're working towards that this version doesn't have is I will also want people to know what they're up or down on their investment. So now let me just show you this.
That's sick in just itself right there as a tracker for your own collection.
So check this out. If I add this to my collection, right? Let's say I have this game. Okay. So the value here for Contra is $54. I have selected here's the components, right? Loose, mint, $54.15. Well, in this box, it said, how much did you pay? So you'll input what you paid for it, add to your collection, and then it will, you know, it'll save how much you paid for it. And then over time, it's going to, or not over time, like instantly, if you paid less than that, it's going to tell you, oh, cool. Yeah, you're up, you know, $27.14 on your investment. And if that moves, then it's going to over time show you how much you've gained over your investment, right? And I know now I've probably lost some people because they're like, dude, now you're getting way too Wall Street for me. Like this sounds like stocks. And it kind of does, but I'm just thinking of every possible sort of avenue, right? That we can sort of look at data, right? And then who doesn't want to know if, you know, maybe a purchase they made was a good or a bad one, right? Over time, you know, I don't know. So
I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that people who don't track what they spend on video games, I think there's a lot of benefits to doing it, and it has nothing to do with you wanting to sell it. You know, it has everything to do with showing my wife how much I spent and that I wasn't an idiot. So that's no, I think the benefits outweigh more than just saying, hey, I spent this much, now I can sell it for this much.
Or if you turn around and you're going to sell it and you're like, how much did I pay for that? I forget. And you just go back and look. I mean,
that's actually a good point, Matt, because you don't have to go back to eBay and then search your purchase history list.
Oh God, my emails from
or your email. So it's all going to be set there. And day one, it's not going to tell you like the monetary value gain, but it will mark your paid, what you paid for it when this launches. It's doing it now. So yeah, you'll get to, if you kind of want to, I think the painful part, like day one, is going to be kind of logging your collection, right? But I think we're going to constantly get to a point where we make things just more efficient. I want to be able to scan barcodes and be able to insert games that way, because that might be easier. It is easier. And so we'll work. We're constantly going to massage this thing. I mean, it's kind of a monster, right? Because it doesn't do just one thing. And that was my mistake, dude. I thought about it. And I was like, yeah, it just can't be about value. It's got to be about this. Oh yeah, let's just do that. No, dude, that's kind of what took it so long too, is my developers are like, don't you understand? I mean, you're building like this social kind of network thing too. Your site is a social network, collection tracker, and price evaluation tool. This is massive. I'm like, oh, I guess it is. Like,
dude, we've needed something like this for years.
it's sick. It's sick. And
it's insane. We've needed this. I don't know.
And the levels you just keep stacking. Like you're like, as Frank Kern, I used to follow, would put it, you're stacking the cool. You just keep stacking the cool with everything you're adding on.
And that's a part of my craziness, and my developers like, man, you gotta chill, dude. You want to go pie in the sky, but it's gotta launch sometime. And I'm like, you're right, man. I mean, like I said, 2 years plus like into this, but I'm happy. I'm so happy that I waited this long, because I'm seeing this so much clearer, and I've built and managed a site before, and it was in the world of esports. So, and it was fairly successful. I'm not sure if you guys know Game Battles, but at one point I managed and owned and operated a site called Rematch. Now it's like some dating thing, but this was back in.
It was a good name.
Yeah, but
it didn't work out. Let's rematch.
Dude, and I got that all. It's like, so people would come there like, dude, this isn't anyway. In 2006, 7, and 8, basically you can go sign up, have your like own little profile, but you can challenge other players on the site to a match over Xbox Live. I was into like competitive gaming like crazy in 2006, 2007, and 8, and yeah, so I built this thing, and we amassed probably close to 150,000 registered users. We had a huge forum. We had hundreds of thousands of matches that were played. It was a pretty creative, robust like community, and it was rad. But I learned so much from that. I learned so much from that, and I didn't want to make those same mistakes with this. And I didn't want to launch something that I felt wasn't going to meet the bar. And I feel it's so much harder now because technology has changed, right? And people just don't want anything half-assed. We were so what's the word I'm looking for? Our attention spans are just so short. We just want everything now. So it had to be good. It had to be ready. So that's kind of why it's so crazy. It's so everywhere. There's so
all right. Sign me up. I'm doing it. Give me my credit card.
I love it, man. So can we talk about that?
I want to be member. Sign up number 1. Matt can be 2.
All right. Well, we are gonna offer like a free sort of thing. There is a membership, right? You could browse it for free, right? Anybody can just come on and sort of browse data, but it's not going to give you the full picture, right? You're not going to, you won't be able to see like Mynty and good values. You'll be able to see the overall value and like sold copies, right? And then you will be able to dial into this thing and sort of track the month-to-month value. So that's pretty helpful. But if you want sort of the full experience, which is going to be mint, good, collect as many games as you want. We're going to start out at $2.99, so it's fairly inexpensive, and it'll grow from there, right? I think when we offer a large amount of games, then maybe things will change. But as far as price is concerned, but day one, we're not going to have full libraries of games. We're not going to do that. That's sort
okay.
of
is that a month, a year, or a lifetime? And when $2.99 is that what are we talking about?
So $2.99 will be a monthly charge.
Okay, so $2.99.
$2.99 a month.
Okay. That's because you say $2.99. I'm like, okay, $299.
Oh no way, dude. No, $2.99. I would never.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to be clear because I'm just that. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah. Good catch there.
Yeah.
$2.99 month to month, or there is an annual option, and that's gonna cut. It's gonna give you a discount. So it'll be less than what you'd pay for a year. That's
totally fair, by the way. I think so. Unbelievably fair.
Yeah. I mean, $2.99. But here's something cool, and I know it's going to be exploited, but whatever. Every sign up comes with a free 7-day trial. So that means everyone gets to sign up and use the site completely free for 7 days, and full on, with the exception of you can't add more than 10 games to your collection. So, but you'll be able to use the site freely. There's achievements that you can unlock to share with other people on the site. They'll see it if they follow you, for collecting certain games and rarities and, just fun things to keep people excited to collect. And then we'll up that a bit to so I'm sorry, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here, but there is what we're calling a collector's account. That's the $2.99 account. And then we're going to offer Power Player, which is going to be graded data. That's something we haven't talked about or seen yet, but that's going to be also available, not day one, but I would guess 2 to 3 months, maybe within the first or into the second quarter of 2023, we'll have that going.
Oh, yeah. Got it. That's a sweet.
Are you going to encompass VGA and CGC graded games as well?
Not in the beginning, but yes, and the not in the beginning because from VGA standpoint, the grading scale is different. So we have. What's that?
No, I didn't.
Oh yeah, the grading scale is different. So we'll have to design that section sort of around their grading scale. I wanted to show you what our graded page would look like if you guys are down to see that.
Heck yeah.
Okay. By the way, graded is kind of a premium, so you'd pay a little more than $2.99 for this when this becomes active. But here it is. Oh wait, not that. Sorry, that's our meeting.
Matt's email right there in case somebody wants to.
There's the one time I have to cut the video out.
Damn, I'm sorry.
That's all good.
No, leave it in there. I want to see what he gets.
No. Hate mail goes to Josh.
Fun pictures, and
I'm gonna blur it out and have Josh's face and email and phone number. Right.
Thanks, Matt.
Yep. Love you too. All right.
So this looks kind of similar to everything else, so we're keeping it pretty consistent, but you'll notice a lot of new tabs. We have rate of growth, starting price, average price. This is some of the things that you've kind of seen on other websites. It feels very familiar. And sort of, I think it's important information though. Average box grade, average seal grade for this particular variant. And imagine that, right? Like you're going in and dialing into each variant and looking at that specific game. This is not an overall thing, right? So just keep that in mind. We have our population report here, and this will show you by grade how many there are, and then by letter grade here. You're seeing a scatter plot chart here. I don't think this is going to make it. I would like this, but it makes no sense because there's no 8.3 grade. So that it's just so I don't think this is going to work. This will be another graph, but essentially, what's that? Yeah. And then below that is we're looking, and I got to give a shout out to Greg or Dylan here for this inspiration. I know he did some pretty good graded information breakdown, and I really liked the weighted grade average that he rolled into some of his videos. So I thought that would be neat to add to each game, and that's to get our Mynty levels, right? Like where does the median lie? Where is most of the grade concentrated? So as you can see in this example, 9.6 is sort of the heavy grade here for this. And then above it is the population of how many have been graded. This is going to come directly from WADA, right? So this is the information, and hopefully they'd allow me to share the information with people here. Below this is, again, another population graph, but I think what's more important is the sold data. So we can go in individually to, let's say, a 9 A++ and see the last sale here. And if we clicked on this, there would be a pop-up to reveal all the sales within the 9 A++ grade.
That's next level of sick.
Yeah. So we can identify, all these different factors that we that we're looking for, right, in one place, hopefully. And I hope this is, and I'm willing to shape this, right? If I'm looking for feedback, I don't, I want this to be great.
I only have one feedback point.
Sure.
And it's if I can make an editorial, Super Mario Bros.
Oh, you like that? Check that out. Oh, wait. Where's that?
No, it's Bros.
Bros population.
Yes. Typo.
That's all good.
Let's highlight that.
Yeah. Gonna make some Super Mario Bros up in here. Jason, I'm really excited, man. This is really great.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Oh, here it is, Josh. So you can change the venue here.
Okay.
So if you want, if you want to go from eBay to Heritage Auction, whatever auction house that we carry, we're going to do our best to kind of bring in those reports.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think you'll be able to select all. You'll be able to select one. So if you want to just kind of
who's getting the better results.
Yeah, let's have fun and kind of look at the numbers, right, and kind of make sense of it all. And then here's, I think, what's even cool. I'm going to do the daunting task of like separating it by sealed and CIB and just cart, right? Because you can't just have sealed. Let's figure out what CIB grade it's going for. I don't know. So, yeah, it's I'm excited, man. I'm happy.
So is this your full-time job?
No.
Oh my God. It might as well be. Yeah.
It will be.
I'm doing this like whenever I have, like, I put time into it every day. So, but I think I want to change like this whole, I'm not going to change the whole hobby. I'm not going to do that, but I just want to like contribute. And I think this is what I want. So I'm hoping that this helps people. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, That's how passion is, man. You do it for you, and you solve the right problem, and it helps everybody.
Yep.
So
Yeah, you're solving problems, and this is great.
It's solving your problem for you. Everybody has the same problem. So that's the differentiator here. It's rad. Like I said, don't want to sound like a broken record, but I'm
Throwing money
very
away,
excited.
mailing a check.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm not ready yet.
I think you're ready. Just launch it, man.
Yeah. We're putting on the finishing touches to making sure it's good. Oh, here and yeah, for you guys. So in December, so in about 2 weeks, I think I'm gonna hook you guys up with a link where you guys can sign up and kind of beta test. So we'll have you guys.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll have you guys on there before we open up January 1st.
Yeah.
So and I think I'm going to invite a couple other people. Hopefully, we can get some cool people who care about this type of stuff to browse around and give feedback, right? Like I want it to be great, and I want to help everyone. So we'll see. But yeah, you guys will get that soon.
Awesome.
This is epic. This is awesome. And I hope everybody that's watching realizes how big of a tool this is going to be, and how much simpler this can make your life for collecting on any level of collecting that you do. This is incredible.
Castlevania action down here. Here's that Zelda that I was talking about. Look at that mint copy for Zelda right now. $1,500. That's pretty cool.
Is that just for TM specifically?
This is
okay.
Just TM specifically. And you see it's on fire right now because we just had that major sale down here, which is we had another sale, the $2,200 sale that happened 2 days ago.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was a 9.2 CIB in Heritage Signatures that sold really well recently.
God, what'd that go for?
A lot.
Yeah, it was a lot.
10 something.
Damn, really?
But I mean,
Yeah.
that grade is just nuts.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the value add proposition there for a graded item, right? If you get this item, this $1,500, whatever this one, $2,200, this TM, and it is minty, and it's a box, it's a 9.2. There you go.
Yeah. And you pay up for it, because
I think that's a good deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I've spent more on worse shit. I'll just say that.
I agree.
I recently paid $1,200 for Mike Tyson's Punch Out without the game. It was just the box and the inserts.
Just a beautiful box and insert. Yeah.
Beautiful box, not even second print, man. It was Circle Rev A, but it was just so beautiful. I had to have it.
Yeah, dude, I don't discriminate on variants when they're super nice. So
yeah, it's like once a year, like, or maybe 3 times a year, you'll see this condition come up, and I had to have it. That's like the game, right?
Oh yeah, man.
I grew up on. I was born in '82. I love that you guys collect Atari too, because I saw what is it, Night Driver that you have, Matt?
Yeah, the Atari 2600
Atari Night Driver. Yeah, I think it's sealed.
I don't remember if it's sealed or not, but I did have one, and I think I did share it on here. But yeah.
Oh, it might have been. Yeah, it might have been in an older episode, maybe. But oh man, that game wasn't really that great, but dude, it's all I had.
Yeah.
So I've been looking for a sealed copy. You just can't find that. And like, I think there's one, maybe. I don't even think so right now. That's so hard to find.
I think one just sold on eBay.
Did it?
I think it was a bin. It might not have even been sealed though. I saw. I'd have to go back. I forget more than I remember these days. But Yeah, that's a tough one. And my
Yeah.
girlfriend, that's one of her favorite games because that's what she grew up with too. And
Mm.
she's just like, she'll kill me if she sees this, but she always calls it Knight Rider, and I was like, well, it's Night Driver, but I'll just let you. We'll go with Knight Rider. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Oh, man, I want that game so bad. That's one of the sealed games that I have on my list, but yeah. Yeah, Atari will, dude, we will have Atari soon.
I don't have a sealed one. I thought I did.
Oh, dang.
Oh. I got a pretty jacked up, really early print of it though. Probably first print actually.
Show us.
See, that's something I know nothing about, the variants on those. Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, like, wait. Is there a black one too, right? A black box?
Is there
there's a Sears, isn't there? I'd have to pull up my list, but actually
I don't know if there's a Night Driver Sears.
I'll tell you in just a second.
But yeah, the variants on these are nuts. Like I said, giving credit, Atari videogamevariations.com.
There is
great page, not digestible, but if you understand variants, you can read through it and figure it out.
There is a Sears, Josh. In fact, I think that's what I saw. I saw a CIB Night Driver on eBay the other day, and it was pretty high, and it still sold. So
see, this is not a nice copy that I have. Like, but it's so hard to get nice Atari games.
Yeah.
It just is. And I'm pretty sure this is a first print. So but it's ripped on the front. I mean, it's not bad.
No.
But
let me expand this. I want to see it.
I'll tell you what.
I'm a noob. God,
it's okay. I just make Matt do the Zoom shit here. So
yeah, it was a CIB Night Driver, Sears Telegames. Oh, I guess it was less than I thought, but just it's pretty jacked up even, but it sold for $50. But
damn,
Ben. That's just a CIB.
I'm gonna look for one now. You guys suck. I'm gonna find one.
Took an L on that one, boys.
I swear I have one.
This is the one I'm thinking of. So somebody has a bin for $3.99 of a pretty nice Night Driver telegames, but it's a CIB. So, but it's dead mint. Or
CIB.
I shouldn't say dead mint. But that's a lot for us. I'm sorry, that's a lot for it's just sitting on eBay, but that's fine. Anybody can ask what they want. I don't want to. Maybe it's a deal and whatever. Anyway.
Oh, that is a nice copy.
Yeah, it's pretty nice considering.
CIB?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
$400 buy it now. Oh my God.
Yeah. One Insta sold for 50, but it was pretty beat up. I'd say realistically the one on eBay is, I don't know, maybe somebody'd pay $100 for it.
See, the problem with this particular game, this is a problem. I don't think this game ever came sealed with plastic in any way.
Because it didn't have the tab on the back. It was just the slide in on the top.
It's just a open box. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So it never had plastic, never had a glued hanger, anything. It's just, it came out of the case packs. No plastic like that.
So essentially, that Night Driver on eBay.
So if you find a mint one on eBay, probably somebody got at a garage sale and was like, "Oh, here's a nice CIB," and they open it up for the first time,
and then they kill it.
Yeah. So it probably never had plastic, based on the early prints. The later ones, there are different variants that might have plastic, but that particular one,
that Sears should be. Yeah,
dude, what a sick cover! I never realized something.
So sweet.
Yeah. All right.
Night Drivers for
Atari. Yeah.
Was there anything else you wanted to cover?
No. Do you guys have any questions?
I don't right now, but when this thing goes, I'm gonna have 1 million.
Yeah, send me the sign up.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get that to you. Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, yeah. January 1st. Actually, it'll be open.
A good question. If people want to reach out to you, what's the best way they can reach out to you?
So they can reach out to me through the Mynty Instagram. So that's at mynty.gg. Cool. And I do have a personal Instagram account, but I think it's not, yeah, whatever. Yeah, just mynty.gg, I think is fine.
Maybe Matt can put a link on YouTube that says coming soon, or when we can go back and edit the thing when you guys actually launch and put
the website,
the website on there.
That's
okay, cool.
That's a little that's a little complicated, That's
all right. I don't know. I don't do that shit, Matt. That's your job.
Yeah, we can have that.
Okay.
We can have all the info below this video. I'll have everything. Even if it's not live yet, I'll still have the website down there below. So people can check.
Fantastic.
It out.
Yeah.
Do you want to go ahead and put the screen back to all three of us?
Oh, sure. Let me stop share.
Boom. Perfect.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, we got to do wins, man.
Oh, man. Oh, dude, it's been a long time, Matt.
But first, before wins, I appreciate Jason being on the show. First of all,
thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming and sharing this. We apologize. We were supposed to have Dan Kaplan, but he couldn't make it because there is fluoride in toothpaste.
Is that the reason? That's what he said, huh? That was his excuse this time. I get it.
I guess he forgot some toothpaste, but
yeah.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on. I think, I mean, first time. I think Mynty's come out, right?
Thank you. Thanks for
you guys are amazing
for coming on here and doing that. I really appreciate it. But
it's exciting, man.
You got to have some wins. I know you've got some wins because we always do. We always end this thing with some wins. Nothing. No wins. Nothing to show. Did the screen freeze?
Not for me.
No, Matt.
Oh, there he is. He's back.
I
could see. Oh, I could hear you the whole time, Matt.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was saying you've got to have some wins. Jason, did you bring some wins?
Oh, you know what? I do. Actually, in one, I wanted you to see, Matt, because I know you're sort of the Xbox guy. Modern Warfare 2 a bit. I don't know how rare these are, but I think I do. But this one in particular, I have this thing. Have you ever seen this before?
The cross, the Xbox 360, Xbox One.
So what's special about this game? First of all, I never see it. I've never seen other than this one that I purchased.
Yeah.
This thing I thought didn't really exist. So this is Modern Warfare 2. It's the greatest hits version, but this is North America. It's the North American version because it's got the mature 17 and it's not it's in English, right? So I honestly, and watch maybe after this a bunch come out, but this is the only one I've ever seen on eBay. There is others, but they're from different countries. This is the first North American version of this that I've ever seen.
Interesting.
So if anybody has one, please share because these I think are hard to come by. This one is probably a little bit more common, but this is the Call of Duty 4 version of this. And again, North American, it's not, you can find the other one and I think it's I'm not sure what country it's from, but it's not North American. So these two, right?
Yeah.
These are like my most recent pickup.
Both
Yeah, these
amazing
two-
games.
Both amazing games. I mean, I know they're not like super retro. I'm into collecting modern. I really am. So, and you know, my other one is the Lost Souls that I just recently picked up. That's the, it's like a cardboard special edition version. So,
I love modern too.
These are my ones. This one, dude. This one. So yeah, that's what I got.
Modern Warfare 2 is the game.
Yeah.
Well, Halo 3, but you know, they're both great games.
Splatoon's the game. You guys are missing out. That thing is fantastic.
Splatoon?
Splatoon.
I know a little bit
Splatoon.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Splatoon 2 and 3 on Switch are ridiculous. Matt, what'd you get? Let's see it.
It's me. Josh,
It's your turn.
This is no exaggeration. It's been so long since we've done one. I have games all over me because I always buy them and I want to show them, and then I'm like, it's been a while.
I know, man.
And now it's like a grab bag. I'm like, I thought this was cool since we're showing some modern stuff. It's even busted. That's kind of sucks, but Eric actually linked me to this. It's just one of the reserve copies. These don't necessarily pop up that often. Kind of hard to find.
Yeah.
I like cool. Josh gets me into these cool, weird, niche stuff items.
Stupid inserts. Oh man.
Just random stuff. I did get a nice. I know a lot of people like SOCOM. I did get a nice sealed.
Damn. I need one of those still.
Damn.
Pack.
That is really nice.
Normally these are pretty beat up or they're resealed. I did get one that was resealed, paid $150 or whatever, opened it up and the game was opened and didn't have the right stuff in it. And so that was pretty cool. And then I'll just show one more thing God, so much stuff. I wish I could show I'll cover this on the Portland Retro. We'll do another episode with Portland Retro and I'll get into that. But since we're talking Atari and we're doing, I just showed some big box. I did get a big box sealed.
Look at that.
Dang.
Obviously this is the second print because the first would have been
What's inside that box? Why is it so big?
Racing controllers.
Yeah, it's got the racing controllers, and then the
racing control
it's like the paddle. It was like the paddle for Warlords, but they were individual controllers, so you could just use it for racing.
Oh,
I just happened to have this. This would have been the first.
Wow.
This would have been the first release. This would be the
oh my god
gatefold. And that it has the hang tab.
That's ridiculous.
Again, this wouldn't have been sealed, kind of like Josh is saying, with these games, because it just has these tabs. And then the game inside would have been, again, not sealed because this has the gatefold version inside and then the paddles.
So can you flip the other one around that you picked up?
Like this?
Yeah, no. I want to see the back of the other one. No, put the old one down. Yeah, I can't see that. Yeah.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking to see what print that is. There should be a print before that. That's not gatefold.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that should be like the third print.
Okay.
But that's cool.
So hard to find.
Yeah, man.
That's cool.
How often does that come up on eBay?
The box, like with the big box, you can probably find the boxes, but not nice. Pretty jacked usually.
Sealed, I'd say like
never.
I'd go maybe one a year, maybe one every 2 years. I don't know.
That's rare.
I could be off. I mean, I'm sure you'll get a couple where you'll get like 3 in a year or something, but I think the last one I saw was a couple of years ago. I'm not checking every day for it, but yeah.
That's insane.
I mean, how many of those are really going to be floating around anymore?
Let me ask you a question. How many save spots on eBay do you have? Like how many like search listings have you saved? how many do you go through? Because I go through quite a few, but
I typically have anywhere from 50 to 100 saved all the time.
geez, dude.
I always have to delete mine.
Yeah,
Because
you
I
have
get
to
to-
delete them after a while because you can't add
Yeah.
more.
Okay.
And then you check on, I mean, if you're doing good, you're checking it 2-3 times a day.
Mhm.
And then if you're Eric, you're checking it every 15 seconds.
Yeah, he's on auto refresh on Google
Dude,
Chrome.
that guy is a beast. He is a
Mhm.
beast.
Yeah, I was doing that when I found my Grand Theft Auto Platinum Hits. It's like the double pack for Xbox.
Yeah,
That
it's
Platinum
insane.
Hits is hard to find.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I need one.
dude, oh, man, that's like one of the rare ones. But yeah, I found it and I got it for dirt cheap. I think it was like $50 or something like that. I got lucky on it.
Wow.
So
This is
they
my
just didn't
favorite.
know what they had. They just didn't know. You know.
Josh,
cost
what do you got, Josh?
All right, we got a Madden 99 for display only box.
Ooh.
It's really cool. It was actually a throw-in on an order I bought from Joan Bone, so he threw that in the box as a freebie. This is a Portland Retro Gaming Expo pickup. It's Spyro 2 lenticular, well,
Foil.
and the greatest hits applied sticker.
Yeah, you see
Oh.
that. Is that on top of the cellophane or is
Yeah,
it?
it's on top.
Oh, okay.
So it had a KB toy sticker. They came in. This was Black Label one. They came in and threw the sticker over it. So I love it, man.
Dude.
So you're gonna
Yeah.
remove
Jason, you got to add that to your variant list, Jason.
you're gonna remove the sticker?
See, that's the thing. I don't know if he does. He's never really tracked stuff like this.
Oh,
because it's
sealed, right?
sealed stuff.
Right.
There's
You're
some
right.
really cool nuances to sealed PS1 out there. So it's stuff like that. There's other things too. I picked up a sealed copy of Forza Horizon because I didn't have it. It's not worth a ton. That's fine.
Great game.
It's not about the value, right? Here's my cracked ass copy of Siphon Filter.
Oh, there it is. Yes. Yep. Ah,
Fucker. Son of a bitch.
damn.
Good thing it was only $30.
Yep. And then I got a sealed copy of SpongeBob, also off Macari. Thank you to
Ooh.
Eric. Tough to find sealed. Oh, these are pretty cool. Oh, we'll show this one. This one's boring. I was like, I should buy an Aaron Judge baseball game when he was hitting home runs, all kind of shit.
Dude. Yeah.
They're pretty jacked up usually. And then I bought some unfolded boxes off eBay. I got a Castle of Dragon,
That is Mynty.
Solar Jetman.
No way.
Yep. So got those. And
Dude, God bless whoever did that.
yeah, there's a guy I've been buying from, but if you guys want to mint one, I mean, I'll hook you up. So
No way. Wait, hold on. Are those like those aren't repros, are they?
no, they're brand new unfolded boxes.
What?
Yep. I'm a whore for this stuff, Jason. I really am.
I found I got lucky on a Metroid. Someone literally bought the box. I mean, there's 100 different ways people stored them. This person bought it. He told me he bought it, took the game out, took the manual out, put those aside, unfolded the box neatly, and then put it away forever for 25 years. It was just perfect like that. So I have this, I think it's like a fourth, it's a Rev A round, but it's freaking nice. And those silver boxes are hard to,
dude, they get like the ghosting and scuffing on them.
Yeah, mine's pretty nice, dude. And it was beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah. So if I ever see unfolded boxes on eBay, they're mine. I'm getting them, buying them all. And the idea of getting all of them from the guy was that I got trade bait. I got 4 of the Castle of Dragons, 3 Solar Jetmans.
Wow.
So I also have, Matt knows the unfolded boxes I have.
I hate you.
Gyromite big box unfolded.
Actually, it's because I love you that you have.
That's right.
I was like, who's bidding against me? Oh, that son of a bitch. All right.
You would have lost, Matt. You would have lost. I just remember.
Wait. Gyromite big box?
Big box Gyromite. It was at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo auction one year.
Yeah.
And some dude
An unfolded box?
Yeah.
unfolded.
Dude,
So sick. Yeah. And somebody got the backup.
Hard to find.
He had another one, and then somebody else we know got that. Oh, but he's a good dude too. So good for you, whoever's watching that knows they have that other one.
I doubt there's any more in the world. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Anyways, that's all I got. I mean, I got a lot of other shit, but that's the pile I went and grabbed. So.
Well,
Good
sweet.
What?
Thank you again. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing that with us. I feel honored that you came on and even chatting with me about it before. I was excited. I'm stoked. I can't wait to get on there myself. I think it's brilliant. I think it's going to help everybody in the community. Yeah, I'm excited.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. I'm grateful that you guys just you even have me on the show, really, because I'm just some random guy, right, that is building a crazy website. So
no, man, you just spent 2 years of your life grinding to help for something that's going to help all of us. I mean,
thank you.
Yeah.
We'll take the most random people, Jason. So
yeah. Anybody. Oh, and speaking of which, so we haven't been on here in a while. But Cam B8s, I have your comment that you left, unfortunately, a couple of months ago in our comments. I haven't forgotten about you, and we will get to that in a future episode and go over that. This is not the episode to do that, but we will. I haven't forgotten about you, just so you know. People who leave comments in our videos, I read them. If you have questions, let me know. I'll get to them. So just want to throw that out there. That's it.
Awesome.
Thank you again. And we look forward to the beta testing and to the launch, to both. So we're excited.
Sweet.
And to all you watching, happy Thanksgiving to everybody, except for Dan Kaplan, because that's
because the obvious.
Yeah. Greg too. He occasionally drops in and watches. So
and Curtis. Yeah.
Does Curtis watch?
Enjoy your day of work.
Yeah, enjoy working.
Nah.
Well, we don't. But yeah. Hey, thanks everybody for watching. Leave your thoughts, comments below. Let us know what you think about Mynty. Let us know if you're excited about it. Yeah. Thanks again. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys all again soon. Take care.